Hello everybody, my name is Chris and welcome to a brand new movie review. This one is for Argylle. Now I just got done watching Argylle, and with Argylle is the latest spy thriller directed by Matthew Vaughn. Following Ellie Conway, she's a famous author writing a spy novel series until one day her stories in her book become a reality, having both good and evil spies hunt her down for answers. And that's all I can say without giving any spoilers away. Now, I was really hyped for this movie. I mean, this movie has a stacked cast in here of amazing people. Henry Cavill, Bryan Cranston, Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, and I have been a big Matthew Vaughn fan, the director of this movie. I first fell in love with his work when he made the first Kick-Ass movie, and that movie is awesome and a personal favorite to this day. And then he jumped over the Kingsman, and I thought that was really well. And but then it looks like lately he has been stuck on Kingsman. He did the first two movies, then he decided to do a prequel movie, and I was like, Matthew Vaughn, you are a fantastic director, but get out of the Kingsman's world and go and do something new and something wonderful. So he basically did that, and he made this movie Argylle. And having sat to Argylle and witnessed the whole movie, it's going to be kind of a divisive movie, but I'm willing to say that I enjoy my time with it. Now, let me get into the things that I did love about this movie, because I was kind of surprised with the amount of fun that I had with this movie. It was already marketing itself to be a little bit out there. I mean, how could you not laugh with the haircut they gave Henry Cavill? My boy, what they did to you? Just right there, travesty. But the movie early on builds this tone that is not taking itself too seriously. That is almost trying to pay homage to spy espionage stories without taking itself too seriously. And it'll be that balance that you either vibe with it or you're just not on board with it at all. Because as you would expect with some spy espionage movies, there's a couple of twists and turns. There's people you didn't expect to see coming, big reveals, betrayal, and all of that. And this movie has all of that times 10. I kid you not. When I say about there are about 7 to 8 different twists in this movie that just hit you back to back. And for me, that was actually kind of the fun part of the movie, when they introduce something so wild and ridiculous. I'm like, how could they possibly explain that? 10 minutes later, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But because this movie ends up having so many twists, it gets to an absurd feeling where things do end up getting like ridiculous wild. A lot of head pop moments, like, we really going to do that? Now the best way to know if you're going to end up liking Argylle before spending your money on it, ask yourself if you are a fan of the second Kingsman movie, because that's the one thing where I thought they took a lot of the ridiculous spy dump elements and kind of made the franchise go over the top really early on. And that kind of vibe is Argylle. It's just pure insanity, soap opera level spy thriller. Now, although I'll say that this is a way better movie than the second Kingsman. Now, in terms, if I had to rank those movies, I would put like the first Kingsman number 1, Argylle number 2, Kingsman 2 In third place and fourth place, the prequel, The King's Mans. Now, there's also a surprise element to Argylle that I wasn't expecting at all. And I'm willing to say that this might up being the perfect Valentine movie for this year, especially because there's not a lot of competition for this Valentine's week. There's a romantic element that blossoms in this movie. There's kind of a sweet and it shattered itself into going into rom-com territory. And again, you are hearing all this and some of you are going like, oh, that's interesting, while others hearing this are going, oh, that sounds dreadful. Now but that's the Argylle experience. Which side are you on? Now, and I know I'm not talking about it so much, but it should go without saying every cast member in here did a fantastic job. Like, such a big fan of Sam Rockwell, and it was cool to see him in here as sort of the lead spy helping out our main character Bryce Dallas Howard, also fantastic. I would have loved a little bit more of John Cena. Feel like he didn't get as much time here, but Henry Cavill also fun to see in this movie. Now, when it comes to like the action sequences, look, I feel that Matthew Vaughn kind of a peak in the first Kingsman movie. There's that where a lot of his action felt very well choreographed, very well staged. While there's definitely fun action scenes in here, it's all blended together with some horrendous green screen or CGI when it starts to look a little unappealing to the eye. But because this movie is going for a wacky silly vibe, you kind of forgive, and maybe that was done on purpose because a lot of the fight scenes in here are meant to be comedy. There's slow motion, there's music that you don't really think they will go with the fight scene, but is there for a comedy effect. There's one absolutely insane scene involving ice skating, and I was like, whoa. But I mean, in a way, like, how did you manage to pull that off and make it comedy in that sort of a way? Now, look, honestly, I had a good time watching Argylle. I appreciate some of the twists and turns the story took. It did kind of keep me glued to what was going on, and I got progressively more interested in the story as the movie went on. Also, the surprising romantic element ended up working for me, and it was almost like a feel-good, cheesy kind of movie. Also, I want to mention, if you are a massive Sam Rockwell fan like myself, you will have fantastic time watching this movie. Now, I want to go with the cast here. Now, so is Henry Cavill in the movie at all? Well, yes, he is. There is some scenes that you haven't seen with him, and I love him in this movie. He seems to be more loosened up here with his work, and he's adding a comedic element to his acting, which I love. And he has a crazy scene very near to the end that was just insane. So I love him in this movie. I just wish he had like more screen time. Now, as for Dua Lipa and John Cena, for the most part, you have seen all their scenes in the trailers. Now, there is a scotch more of John Cena, but that's really is. Now, it was funny to see him in contrast to Henry Cavill. Great chemistry. Now, the other big roles in the movie, interestingly, are Catherine O'Hara as Bryce Dallas Howard's mom, and her role is so big, and also Bryan Cranston as the head of a shadowy spy organization, also a very big role. And also Samuel Jackson is here, always awesome to see. And now, let's talk about Ariana DeBose. Ridiculous, not in a good way. Almost most insultingly small role. I can't believe they cut her almost entirely out of the film. I thought that was a bad look, especially she's an Academy Award winning actress. Come on, what's going on? And now Sam Rockwell again is absolutely amazing here, and I love that Matthew Vaughn like really did, and Apple Films of course cast him in this role. It's not your typical type of actor for this role, and he did a fantastic job, and same for Bryce Dallas Howard, because whoa, what a role! It's incredible, and she killed it. But with that said, there's still some negatives that I will caution you, even if you're a little bit interesting. Now, and for one, the movie's too long because this movie has like 7 to 8 different twists going on, betrayals, reviews, things like that. Every single twist and review needs an exposition dump. So they hit you with a chicken review where the audience goes like, oh my god, what? And like 5 minutes into the movie, they give us a 10-minute explanation, and then the next review, and then a 10-minute explanation for that, and then the next review, and then a 10-minute explanation for that. And that explanation dump lends up the movie where you start to feel it by the end. And I was like mentioning the absurdity and wacky feel of this movie. It's just going to turn some people off. And the other negative is just trying to create like a standard universe. This movie has a post-credit scene. Oh, and when you see that post-credit scene, oh my god, it's insane. I won't mind. I mean, go for it. I'll be there day one. Really excited. But I won't give it away. Now, but even after that post-credit scene, there is also like a promise for another movie that I don't even feel, I don't even understand if it's a sequel to this movie or a spin-off or it's an in-universe movie. And it's just the idea of like you have one movie and you're now trying to branch off a cinematic universe. Like, whoa, calm down. Let's see how this one does first. But with everything I said, hopefully this can determine where you will Argylle is for you or not. Now, I did a fantastic time. I mean, if you like some work where Bryce Dallas Howard and of course Henry Cavill, especially if you deep vibe with the second Kingsman, or well, this is a way better movie, but expect that level of ridiculousness and over the top with this with Argylle. But still, I did have a really fun time watching this movie, honestly. It just maybe it will not do well, but I'm really rooting for this movie to do well, especially because this movie also, I mean, Henry Cavill for James Bond. I mean, what else? So that's my review for Argylle. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.